And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Facebook, and Kick. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be right back with you, Howlers.
You're tuned in to the hottest podcast, Howls over Baaz, every week whooping ass. H.O.B, the fight segment, home of future and current world champions. With your host Jacob Casas and your host AJ Gonzalez. And we running over sheeps cause we wolves in this beast, Let's go. And shout out to the fans showing love and all the trolls, y'all welcome. Every week knocking out the competition with the hottest guests. If you ain't tuned in, then you missing.
Howls over Baaz. Oh, man, my bad, guys. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
AJ Gonzalez.
Sam Contreras.
What's going on, guys? Well, this is our H.O.B fights segment, and so we're going to get into it today. This is our, well, you want to explain this a little bit, AJ, what we're doing today?
So today, we're I can't even talk right now. What we're going to be doing, once a month, we're going to get together with Sam. Jen is not here today, but she will be part of the table, and just talk boxing. You know, just talk boxing and just BS and you know, give people what they want to hear.
Yeah. So welcome back, Sam, and welcome to the team.
I know, it feels like it was yesterday that we had you.
So why don't you tell us what's been going on with you a little bit?
Well, staying busy. I had my son and Kevin fighting this past weekend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very excited for both of them, especially Kevin. It's been a long time. A lot of weights, but you know, thank God he was able to get his opportunity.
That's dope. So what do you want to get into first?
You know what? Let's talk about the whole Sufa stuff that's going on. You know, there's a lot of controversy about that. You know, so I would love to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts on the Zuffa.
I think it's just
talk your shit, Sam. Talk your shit.
Yeah, we're real on this.
No, I feel that. I mean, we don't know yet, right? Sufa is completely new. Their way of working, it's new. I know a lot of people are very excited. I could see a lot of, fighters that are getting opportunities, which is good. But, I mean, we're going to keep it real. I'm not saying they can't be big. Of course they can. But it's like when a brand new car comes up, man, you can't start saying, oh, this shit's better than Toyota. It's better than this. Come on.
It's like when Hyundai came out.
No, I mean, and trust me, I know the guys from Sufa, but we're keeping it real, right? We're going to see. It seems that, they're doing tough fights. But I feel that's not for every fighter. Boxing is not like MMA, in my opinion. There's fighters that don't get opportunities, and that might work for them. For how long, we don't know, right? I've seen they've had 2-3 fighters that they've started polishing since 360, because pretty much 360 became Sufa.
Yeah.
And, they took care of them for a minute. As soon as they went to Sufa, they're gone. Their O's are gone. A lot of people say the O's don't matter. Fuck no, it does matter. It does matter. O's matter.
That's true.
Now, babying it, not fighting great position, I could see that, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you fight good fighters, good fights, and you keep your O, you're setting a statement out there, right? That's what Floyd did, and Canelo tried it. He lost a few, but he was able to continue doing what he's doing. But nobody wants to see a fighter that has 10 losses, 12 losses.
Especially if they don't have a big name like Canelo. Or I think Canelo can afford to lose a couple fights, and his stature will still be there.
Of course. But the moment he hits 8 losses, 9, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. One of the only guys that was able to do like 6 losses. Manny was one of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Manny, De La Hoya. But, De La Hoya was something else.
Yeah.
They were fighting tough people all the time.
Of course.
That's the one thing good about them. What do you think about, I'm going to tell you the truth, I hate it. But what do you think about them uniforming it? Like for the boxers to have to wear uniforms.
Like
I hate it.
I don't like that.
What I don't like is he's doing that, but he wants to get paid on that. right? So instead, like, okay, I don't know if you know the story, but with the UFC did a contract with Reebok. You know that it was Rampage that did the contract, was doing a contract with them. He was in the middle of the contract with them, and he had to like go over it with Dana White. Dana underneath him and did the contract with Reebok, and it fucked over Rampage so bad. And Rampage, they said fuck Dana White, fuck UFC after that, and bounced, and he was like pissed because it was a massive deal for him.
Well, yeah, that's bullshit.
And so what they do, that's why I don't trust them on the money side and things like that, because Dana White will go against anybody and just take it from him. So he's doing that, and I think that him doing that with the boxers, like, damn, the fighters are already making a lot less money when it comes to UFC, at least. You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, what's he gonna do with boxing then? Is he trying to do the same shit where he's gonna hardly pay the boxers and they're gonna be the ones getting paid? Like, how's this shit gonna go?
Yes.
There's a reason why they say there's levels, right?
Yeah.
So I could see it now in the beginning, and for some fighters, because I'm being as much transparent as I could be. I hear that SUFO pays them a certain amount for them to use the uniforms, right? They cannot use any other sponsors or stuff like that.
That's crazy.
We have fighters out here too that they can't get not even one sponsor.
Yeah, so
it might benefit him. Now, for fighters that I see that belong in other companies, for example, like Kevin right now, Sam, other fighters, one sponsor will give them double what SUFO's giving them in sponsorships, right?
Yeah.
So it depends. It depends who you are. It depends, and it is what it is.
Now, explain that in regards to like Kevin, right, and Sam. Like, what separates them from like the SUFA fighters that, like you said, one sponsorship will give them double of SUFA?
Well, it's not something they're doing just right now.
Is it because of the company that they're with?
First of all, the company they're with, the way their careers were taken since years ago.
Got it.
A lot of people think like, oh, Sam just signed with Top Rank.
Right.
And things start changing. No. We started working at certain things. We had to say no to a few sponsors, small sponsors. Yeah. Right? Because we were pushing more to quality.
Right.
It's somebody less sponsors, but they're going to pay more. Right. So that again, that's what I feel that the difference is. Now,
you don't want to look like a billboard.
Yeah,
you know.
But hey, sometimes you have to. You know.
Sometimes you do.
You know, I'm not bashing at no fighters. Yeah. Sometimes you have to. So everybody goes through different doors. So
and you got to think too. They got to get paid at some point. And if they're not getting paid, like sometimes like look like a billboard. It's almost like you got to sometimes. I think. It's sad for some of these fighters that don't get to really make any money, and then now they can't even have a sponsor on their shorts now.
True. Now, I can only speak for my fighters. I didn't train my fighters and spend all this time with my fighters and all the money I've invested as a trainer with them
to get sponsors.
Time to come and put them in. If it's a league that are just gonna burn each other out.
Okay,
right?
Got it.
Because right now it's the beginning. Now we need to see. I heard the Muhammad Ali act
the Muhammad
changes
Ali act,
came through. Now we want to let's see
now
how they act.
Is
now.
that final?
I'm not sure. I think now it's heading to the Senate.
I think it's heading, to the
Senate, and if they approve
that'd be huge. That'd be huge.
And we need to see how it works, right? Because now you're seeing the all UFC fighters complaining, right? Now I heard, recently, I don't know how true this is, but they're saying that UFC's not paying for the cornermans to travel. So we will need to see. It's too early, I believe. It could be something good. It could be something that might not work or might work for some and not for others. But, we'll see. I just feel that at the end of the day, fans want to see for me, I think it's too boring, right? We grew up watching fights where you had, for example, Chavez. He had 6 fuckers behind him. Yeah. Didn't matter who. After years, we found out who they were, but it doesn't matter. You have fans, you have flags. You had that traditional Mexican robes. Yeah. All that made.
The way you said it earlier, Chavez had like 6 one. It's true though.
Yeah, that's what makes it, right?
Yeah.
I don't even like nowadays when they just have the fighter walking alone. It's like so boring. It's
awkward.
Yeah, so fans, at least the fans I know, how I grew up, that's what we pictured, right? That atmosphere, like being in the Canelo fights, man, it's something, bro. I mean, you don't even have to be a fighter just to feel the vibe. It's a different atmosphere. So that's what fighters go for, right? Because when you're a fighter, you go to fights, and you're a trainer, you go to fights as a fan, and sometimes you hear somebody fighting top fighter, and you hear all that noise in that arena. You're like, fuck, man, one day. Now with these type of changes, man, you never get that, you know. So
do you feel that Sufa in a couple years could get to that level? Now, keep in mind, they're just barely starting now.
I
you know
just
what I
feel-
mean? They're like, what, 4 fights in? 4 shows in?
I'm actually a little worried about Zuffa taking over. I am, because they got deep ass pockets. He likes to monopolize everything, buy everybody out, cut everybody
Dana,
off.
Though. It's
he's the main guy doing that though. He's the guy that's actually the one in progress.
who got
trying
the
to
money is Turk.
Yeah. But the thing is though, he's the one that does all the deals and says, "Hey, buy them." He's the one that's always done that.
Right
It's
now,
been him.
I feel that everything's moving because of money. But if you go to shows, the big show that I thought it was going to be, and they had the opportunity to make the best show, was in New York City, and it sucked. And that was Turkey money. And
That
it
is
sucked.
true. The one where they're,
So
Times
I,
Square, right?
I
The Times Square
believe,
one?
I believe like anything, like everybody's moving on the money right now.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think that because I seen what Dana White has done and what he's and to be honest, like when I found out he was getting into boxing, I was like, oh fuck, bro, he's gonna fuck it all up.
Yeah.
But I really do, and that's what I want to know. Like, what do you think? Do you think that he's gonna take this over?
It's going to be very difficult because I've seen in this sport guys with a lot of money. Rock Nation came in with a lot of money, very aggressive. Remember, they offered Miguel Cotto $50 million. They couldn't comply to the contract. Boxing, I've always told people this, to what I've learned, and me and Robert have spoken, and it's not always about the money in boxing, bro. It's who they really want to work with.
Relationships.
There's a lot of ex-fighters that wanted to become promoter. Only Oscar De La Hoya has been able to make it.
That's very true. That's very true.
Right? So right now you have the top promoters. You have Top Rank, which they're the GOATs. History, everything. Oscar De La Hoya, he's a fighter. He's going to fight back. And Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns has surprised me because he's in it. And it's going to be very hard because these guys do know the recipes.
Yeah.
These guys do know that what boxing people like is those talented fighters they're able to groom, make them into superstars. That's what people go. People don't go to a boxing fight saying, oh, they're going to have a 5 fights or 8 fights this show, right?
Right.
They're going to go and say Canelo's fighting, right?
Yeah.
Benavidez is fighting. Pacquiao's fighting, right? Sometimes they don't even care about the undercard, right?
That's true.
It's that one fight. If you notice, if you go to Vegas and if you've been in Oscar fights, Floyd fights, you start seeing the full stadium get packed at co-main event and main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones you really don't get much.
But the only thing is, I'm
Personally,
thinking
I like watching the undercard.
The reason I was saying this
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
because for Sufa, what I see is that they're selling the brand. They're thinking people are gonna want to see, oh, Sufa's having a show.
Nah, but it's about the fighters.
Well, that's what people like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's gonna be hard. People are waiting for. I mean, look at Teofimo Lopez, how he comes out with his, his own walkout song,
Yeah.
his own. He has like a little parade going into the ring, right? All that helps.
Who's that guy? The heavyweight fighter. Or cruiserweight. He just fought on the last card. From Australia. Forgot his
From
name.
Sufa.
They promised him a title fight, right? For this past fight, and it ended up not being a title fight.
I just heard the IBF stripped them.
Yeah, IBF stripped them.
So, I mean,
Like,
Sufa-
are they lying to their fighters?
I mean, I don't know. But what I do know is that Sufa only has certain weight classes. That's another thing I don't like because as fighters, nobody's going to want to give advantage.
No.
So we have the junior weights in between, right? You have, let's say, lightweight, super lightweight, junior welter, super welter, whatever. We have a big issue with dehydration. And I guarantee you that if you're 100 and they don't have 130 pounds. So if
they
you're
don't? I think they
no,
did.
they have 126, then 135, then 147. That's a huge
That's
gap.
a huge gap. Yeah, you're
So,
right.
and the reason is that you notice fighters that, let's say you fight at 130 and you're like okay at 130. Are you going to go to 135 and give that advantage to a bigger guy, or are you going to struggle to go to 126? We might see a lot of more fighters struggling to go to 126 just for them to have the benefit or the advantage of being the bigger guy at that 26. At the same time, they're putting their life also at risk at that, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to, dehydrate more. So we will see.
Well, they're going to be doing a lot of catch weights.
I mean,
That's for sure.
I do hear that some fighters are, making good money with SUFA, and it's great for them. But again, with all respect, I didn't train an 8-year-old to this age.
For him to go to
$200,000 does not move me. $300,000 does not move me. $500,000 does not move me for the first 6-7 fights of my fighter. Does not move me. It might move other fighters. It might move other trainers, but not me.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
You got that old school mentality. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah.
But it's scary to think about. Like, okay, a lot of the big name fighters, they're older. They're not going to be fighting for too much longer. How much longer, right? So you have all these new fighters coming in.
Yeah.
Now think of it like this, okay? Like, even in the rap game, people were just signing contracts just so they can get right now money. Right. That's what I'm afraid of. He's going to entice them for that right now money. They can't even do movies or nothing. Like even Rampage was talking about, a lot of these fighters are like, yeah, I couldn't even do a movie because I'm signed to UFC and that's in my contract. And he's like, I was like, fuck that, I'm breaking that contract then.
Right.
So he broke it because he was like, fuck UFC, fuck this and that. He just went off, right? He was mad. But you can't do anything when you're signed to UFC. You can't do a boxing match. You can't do none of that shit unless UFC approves it. And a lot of times he doesn't approve a lot of that stuff. And I've been seeing a lot of podcasts about fighters talking about this.
Why do you think that's the case with Dana? Why does he want?
He wants control.
Yeah. Why? What's so?
Because he wants all the money in his pocket and he wants to distribute it to the fighters as he sees fit. That's the problem I see with Dana White. And like I said, as a businessman, I was like, damn, he's a fucking smart ass businessman. But think about it. Look how football is controlled. Look at boxing's not controlled like that. Boxers make a shit ton of their money. But the thing is, though, he's going to be I feel like he's going to be the guy to control the whole fight industry. I think that's his goal. And that's what I'm worried, because a lot of these young boxers, a lot of these young boxers are going to say, fuck it, I want to sign that contract. Like, think if you're a young fighter and he's trying to throw like a couple $100,000 at you or 500,000, like you were just talking about. Those young fighters are going to be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. Because I want the money now. Exactly. And someone like you in their corner talking to them, trying to advise them, a lot of them are still going to sign it. Because that's what I'm worried about. I'm dead serious. I'm actually worried about this. I'm worried that he's going to monopolize the whole fight industry. And nobody's going to be able to fucking stop him.
Well, we're already seeing with commissions. Some commissions are pulling some cards that you're like, dude.
Where did this come from?
There's some shit going on. Under the table. I'm sorry. There's some commissions.
Do you think that was dirty with the whole IBF thing that happened?
It's just changed completely. Here's the thing. They complain about the organizations, right? The IBF, WBO, WBA, right? They're independent. There are 4 different ones.
Okay.
They're trying to say, okay, screw this. I saw one of the commissioners saying, oh, well, you know what? It depends how the promoter gets along with that organization.
Right.
That's how they move the fighters. But then you're here fucking supporting a something that's going to be only one organization, and they control the rankings. They control everything. At least here, we've seen when promoters clash with with the WBC, WBA, right? Business-wise. They'll be like, well, why is my fighter not second? Or why is my fighter not fighting the mandatory? On this other side, how they're planning it or how it's looking, you can't say nothing. It's what the company says. So you become 100% an employee, W-2.
That's the thing.
You become a W-2 employee.
Right on the spot,
right on the other side, do you work together with Top Rank? Do you work together with Golden Boy? Of course you do. But you're more like a contractor. You're more like a 1099. You know what I'm saying? So if there's certain things, You know, there's limits.
There's more
Yeah.
more flexibility.
Here, it's more like you're a W-2 employee.
We honestly need Oscar. We need him to fight this shit. We need these people to fight it because. But
Well,
the thing is, though,
Oscar's been trying to put it out on blast.
oh,
a
I know,
lot.
I like that. But what I'm saying is, does he have deep enough pockets to fight this? Like, because I could see him taking over everything.
It's not only Oscar. I think you know, it's weird because we see a lot of political personnel getting involved, and where were all these guys before?
Yeah, now all of a sudden they want to.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing. I mean, I'm being, you know, I could tell this to anybody. Where were all these guys before? Now you care about boxing.
Yeah.
Now you want to use the Muhammad Ali name for certain. I just feel people are getting paid. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And you know, which at the end of the day is like, you know, what do? You know, I think sometimes you just kind of have to wait. You know, fighters, if something would happen, then fighters, promoters would have to complain or something. We've seen that what brings boxing a lot is, and I think they kind of want to put it as in, you know, make it equal, more like communist bullshit, right? That, everybody should win the same.
Yep.
Fuck no. You think Canelo, how many fighters have put the work Canelo has done, that Oscar did, that Floyd did? Not a lot.
Not a lot. Not
Right?
a lot. Especially now.
So, and I'm talking about not just fighting good fighters, being whatever, if they're good looking, putting social media posts. Look at Ryan Garcia. A lot of people might say, you know, it's not that I was defending to do what he's done. There's fighters right now that could have been a big star in boxing. And they're not a big star in boxing, not because of the promoter, because of them. They don't want to do interviews. They don't want to be on social media. They want to be too quiet. That's not the promoter's fault. And I feel at the end of the day, that's kind of what the UFC want. They don't want to have a Canelo.
They don't.
They don't want to have a Ryan Garcia.
No.
They don't want to have a Floyd Mayweather that says F you on social media, says, if you don't give me this, I'm out. I want to cancel my contract. They want to have control. They want to have control where they say, no, you can't say nothing.
And he did it. He did it with MMA. He did it. He did it. That's why I'm worried.
I personally think that the MMA, like UFC, has been successful. You know, like he's took it to the next level. You know? But a lot of people actually prefer to watch UFC than boxing.
Yeah. Okay. So check this out, though. Right. So there's all kind. There was Bellator. There was King of the Cage. There's all these. Right. A lot of these other leagues, MMA leagues that they had, promotion companies, they didn't make any money. So you'd see all these huge events go on, and they lost more money than they made. Right. There was very few. King of the Cage. I actually did. I commentated that fight with Rampage. They made money, but I don't want to put everything on blast. What he made in his pocket was not a lot at all. So it's not profitable, right, for him. Like he made. I don't want to put. Okay, let's just let me try to word this right, so I don't put people on blast on here and people get mad at me. Because I know exactly how much people are making. So let's say someone puts on a fight like Bellator or some shit, right? You know how much money the promoter walks away with? Like $30,000. That's what they walk away in their pocket with. It ain't like boxing. It ain't like any of that, right? UFC's the only one that's actually been obviously very successful, making all kinds of money, and a lot of the other ones would make a little bit of money here and there, but a lot of them lost more money. And Dana White knew that. That's why he was buying them all out, buying them.
Makes sense.
And that's what ended up happening. So now that he entered the boxing world, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh fuck, bro. Because the thing is, you know how the boxing is right now. The big famous ones are the older boxers. Like all these newer guys going to start coming in, and they're going to want to sign contracts because they're not going to know business. They're not going to know any of that shit. And he can have them right away. I mean, the game's changed, obviously, right? Boxing, everything, from anybody to fighting. There's not a lot of like amazing fighters out there like there was before. Like people aren't trying to go out there and fight. People are. I feel like after COVID, a lot of people just stopped doing shit. So it's hard to it's I feel like it's harder. Like there's a lot less than there was before. And it's going to be, and so he's thinking, okay, well, these guys don't know business, just like the MMA guys. They don't know shit. I can come in here and have all these, and make this pretty penny look very, like, appealing. sign these contracts, put these guys on my thing, and I can start taking over boxing like that. Because he knows, okay, Canelo's going to fight for so long. Pacquiao's going to fight for so long. All these guys are going to fight for so long, and I think that's what he's thinking.
It's going to be very hard if they really want to take over the whole thing, because we just saw another this past Saturday, Lester Martinez, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a crazy magnitude compared to Canelo and all that, but it was crazy for the amount of fights he's had here in the States. So many people from Guatemala went out there and support him.
Yeah.
And that just confirms to you that people look for superstars.
This
is
one he's the first Guatemalan.
Now,
right?
That's what we want.
Remember, UFC has a different type of fan base compared to boxing, right? There's more of the younger crowd. They don't really care about much culture, what it is, even the flag. It doesn't really matter to them. But I feel that, it's going to be, like I said, interesting what's going on. But again, these promoters know what they're doing. They're old school. And at the end of the day, it's what people want. It's what people pay for. So if, another Canelo comes aboard, all these fighters come superstars, it doesn't matter what they want to do. Because guess what? If one of these promoters have the next superstar, it doesn't matter, Sufa. It doesn't matter if somebody else comes down.
That's true.
That guy's going to control. So, now if Sufa ends up getting one of those top fighters, then good,
Yeah.
Then that might help.
I think that would change the game. It would change the narrative.
But,
in a sense.
But it's very hard, because how are you going to get one of those stars when you're already having them beat the crap out of each other in the first 6 fights, 7 fights, 8 fights?
That is true.
You can't even build a fighter.
That's one thing I think that could stop him. You know what I'm saying? What you're talking about right there, and then even bringing it up, talking about it like the guys that know the game. And like keep talking about it and let the fighters be aware of this shit.
This is a process. The whole process of young talent is to showcase them step by step. Every fight they go in there, it's not to tell the world, oh, this guy's the best. No, it's, look, he's growing. He's showing. You have the fans start getting in love with them little by little.
Right.
And when that big opportunity comes and they win the fans, that's when they grow. That's when that's it, right? So, like I said, it's going to be very, very difficult because, look, Canelo money, Floyd money, the sponsors they get, I don't want to talk about numbers. I know, but there's few that's over 2 million, 3 million just on Beltline.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So, it depends.
On top of their purse? That's
and
crazy.
two, I mean, it's like, you want to be your own boss, right? If you want to graduate, you want to do your own business, you might work for a company, but at the end of the day, you want to be your own brand, right? You don't want to become somebody's employee the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, when a fighter retires, what are they going to do for you? But if you have your own brand, you could still live off that.
I feel like he's trying to be like the Suge Knight of death row. That's the best way to describe him.
Honestly, you hit it right there on the
He's trying to be Suge Knight of death row. That's what he's trying to do.
It might work for
I
some fighters.
I'm saying I hope it doesn't. That's my actual. I don't. I'm just worried it is.
Look,
but I don't think Dana's going to be able to take over the whole thing.
With Sam, and I'll bring him up because we recently signed long term with Top Rank.
Yeah, congratulations.
No, thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
And it's because I believe in Top Rank. I love their transparency. I've worked very well with Golden Boy too. In this case, I think it was our better fit with them. And they're very transparent on how to build the fighter, how to get you up there, how do you be the main platform, right? So as long as these promoters start working together, great fights, because in boxing, I don't know much about the UFC, so I can't really comment, but in boxing, they wanted to see that Canelo Mayweather, De La Hoya Trinidad. It's the names. Nobody talked about,
and I love
without
that.
respect, nobody talked about, I want to see Top Rank. I want to see Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Top Rank, Golden Boy are the guys that were bringing them in, but at the end of the day, people want to see the fighter.
Most of the people, I love that. The casual boxing fans don't really know who they're signed to.
Yeah.
They
won't know. They won't know.
They don't know.
They won't.
So, and they're the guys that are putting in the work for these fighters to grow. So I think it's going to be fine. I mean, I feel that, of course, they're going to pay you right now certain things for you to make good fights, but we'll see when a fighter has or 4 knockouts. He's been knocked out 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row. What are you going to do with them? We're already seeing guys that got knocked out twice, right? Yeah. So what are you going to do with them? I mean, now you're also running a risk. Because
now medical risk.
But he doesn't even care. Like, he does that with fighters all the time. They're all beat up. MMA fighters, they fight injured all the time. Yeah. And if they don't fight, then they know that they're going to be like basically kicked out.
Well, putting that bonus, knockouts get you an extra $50,000.
Yeah.
So people are going in there to knock fools out.
Or it might not work, and then he's gonna probably have to go with the boxing model that there is. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. We'll see. But again, like I said, I think it's for some fighters it's good because a lot of fighters don't want to put in the work or haven't put in the work for years.
Mm-hmm.
And boxing is not something that you could be like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna start doing this and things are gonna change. No, you have to start working since years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago.
And you know what? Some fighters, in regards to the uniforms, going back to the uniforms, some fighters I think are okay with not being able to wear their own, trunks or whatever because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Trunks, they're expensive, the whole wardrobe, so now they don't have to pay for that. All right. But those are fighters that I would say are journeymen. They're just in there to fight. They're not in there to build a brand.
Exactly.
I know, I'm just worried about it. I really am.
Where's our uniforms?
I know we need to get some Howls over Baaz ones. Huh?
See, it goes back to the W-2 employee in 1099. 1099, you're gonna see him. He's gonna show up with his own gear. The other ones are gonna wear whatever with the.
Can I wear my own sponsorships though? On the
next to Howls over Baaz and shit. I know. Huh?
Yeah. Or are you gonna control us about that?
I know.
Are you gonna Dana White us?
No. I'm gonna be the Suge Knight
of H.O.B.
They are gonna give good fights because I've seen a few matchups. As a fan, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good fight. As a trainer, I'll be like, I did not work 5 years, 10 years of time on this kid to put him in this position.
Yeah, it's fucked
but
up.
As a fan, I just feel that the moment they're out, they're gonna start replacing them with other ones.
Yeah,
very quick.
Yeah,
we got someone writing in. Can you read those from there? I can't zoom in on my. Can you roll it up to the top, please, for me, John? Shout out to JV Media, always killing it over here. You don't even know what this guy be doing behind the scenes, but he's always killing it.
All right, so let me see. Yeah, because I'm kind of.
This is Raiden. Hey, shout out to Raiden. He actually fights for Power Slap. He's actually in Dana White's thing for Power Slap. He was on the podcast before. Oh, read it on the mic, please.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so the Scrap Pack Fight Club. These companies move on so quickly, especially when they have other people running different parts. I was like a fan favorite coming out of season 3 of Power Slap
with Dana
and
White.
never got to fight again.
Yeah. Shout out to Raiden. I appreciate you chiming in the chat.
And then he said something else again. They move on so quickly, and I know my worth, so I'm gonna go main event, new shows somewhere else. Technically, I helped start the sport, so I love to help these other companies get bigger. And he's going on. Actually, it's him the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I was 24 when I got signed, and I'm 26. I waited there for 2 years. Never heard contact from them. Never had contact from them.
Saying about Dana White.
Yeah.
Oh.
But hey, I love it and I respect them. I'm grateful for it.
Damn.
But when, but when you lock yourself into a contract, man, you really don't know how they're gonna use you, and if they're gonna use you properly. That's very true. Yeah. What up, Jacob? It's Raiden.
What up, Raiden? So okay, just a little backstory. So Raiden, you know that Dana White owns Power Slap, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he was on Power Slap. He was in the house, just like how they had Tough, right, with when they had all the fighters from UFC and that lived in the house. He lived in the same house that they were in, but it's all for Power Slappers. Well, he did MMA. So what Dana White does is he reaches.
Me about him.
Dana White reaches out to a lot of people that do MMA to try to join the Power Slap team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what he did. So he's just explaining what happened with him with Dana White. So he's just explaining.
Man, I got respect for people on the Power Slap. I would never do that shit.
Well, what happens is,
but I got respect for you guys.
What happens is
that's crazy
because I didn't know a lot about it. Right when I think he was, we had another guy, Alan from Power Slap, that came on. I didn't know anything about it yet. Then he hit me up because he saw him on. Then he came on. So what it is Dana White is literally, I'm not joking, bro. They're messaging people on Instagram, fighters. They're all fighters, most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. He's reaching out to fighters to join the Power Step, and a lot of them are like, "Fuck no, I'm not doing that." But he pays them good.
Yeah.
Good for what they're doing now, right?
Well, that's
So-
exactly like
so they did
Sufa,
it.
without respect. You know,
Yeah.
without respect, it's not like.
That's basically what it is.
And I'm
'cause
not
he
trying
owns-
because there's few fighters, but it's not like when you get signed by Top Rank, Golden
Right,
Boy,
right.
Matchroom. That's like, it took them a good while to see if you were,
Mhm.
Right.
we're gonna be fit for the company. Right now they're just signing everybody,
Yeah.
right? Because it's more like bulk.
Like whatever they do, what is
Now,
whatever they
whoever
do.
was able to go through all that,
Yeah.
I just feel that in history we haven't seen one fighter that's been able to have so many wars since day one and make it to the top. Not one.
Nah.
Because they get beat up too much. It's like it's too much. They
Your
used to
body's not built for that.
well, they used to do it in like Pride and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you heard of Pride, right?
Mhm.
They did it in Pride. They did it for K1. You would have like 4 fights the same night. Four to 6 fights, I believe,
That's
the same night.
unheard of now, though.
They would be kickboxing. They'd be hitting each other. Crazy stuff. But yeah, like after that, how long are you on top? Not long, because you're messed up. You got these other fighters that are on top for a long time because they pick. and
Hey,
choose
don't
their
they still do
fighters.
that in Tijuana?
Maybe amateurs they do.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen. So it's a lot of money. It's gonna move a lot of people. A lot of trainers. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like, and I get it because it's not easy. This is a lot of the reasons that I don't train nobody else. Because trust me, if I was a trainer and I had 4, 6, 8, 10 fighters that I can't get them in cards, and I see Sufa, I'm gonna try to convince these guys to go to Sufa. What? Because I want to get paid,
Yeah.
right? I want them to get paid.
Dang,
So I have no
didn't
other
even think of
option.
that. Now that
It's
makes
gonna
sense,
happen.
too.
That's why they're reaching out to trainers too.
Bro, that's
Hey,
crazy.
that's a good.
That's why they're reaching
that's
to
an awesome
trainers.
point
That,
right
that
there.
just makes me think more that he's gonna take this shit over. Damn.
That's what's gonna happen because if
Yeah.
you have 10, 15 guys there and they're not getting dates, they don't sell. First of all, it's the fighters' fault too because they're not putting in the work. Now we have to adjust to social media. We have to do things we're not comfortable with.
A lot of fighters don't like doing that either. I notice even like UFC, all of them, they're not really into that. It's very few that want to do that, and I get it because a lot of them don't even care to talk or anything. They just want to fight, and that's it.
But you know what? You need to do it regardless of what. If
I
I
know.
want to sell houses, I have to post something, right?
Yeah. You gotta sell yourself.
Anything you want to do, right? If you're
Yeah.
an electrician, you have to fucking post that you're doing some type of work.
Yeah.
AC,
It's
everything.
all promo.
Exactly. So, boxers, there's no way around it. It is what it is. You have to start adapting. It took me and my team to start adapting. And we're still not the best at it, but we're doing changes to keep growing. But if you're gonna be that type of fighter, then it might be something that's gonna be good for you.
Yeah.
At least pay because a lot of fighters don't get paid much in the beginning. Because they have to sell tickets, they have to do all that. Now, going back to like we're talking about all these guys sponsoring. The only thing I didn't like about when I saw they had the meeting at the I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was the House of Representatives or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah,
they had
yeah.
the commission there and
Yeah.
everybody. I just saw a shitload of lies, and I'm like, I always been that.
That's
if
the vibe you got from it?
Well,
Yeah.
no, not the vibe. The shit I know. Come
Yeah,
on, no
yeah.
fighter here
That's
in
true.
California gets paid $100 when
Well,
he fights.
Hell
They're
no.
trying to say, oh, there's fighters that get paid 100. No, come on.
No,
that's some bullshit.
I even know that.
They know it too. I mean,
Yeah.
on paper, sometimes things are moved different on paper, but no opponent. Majority of the opponents get paid more in the small shows than the A-side fighters,
Yeah.
right? I see 4-rounders, they're getting at least 1,500, 2,000, 2,500,
Yeah.
right? So when they try to use the card of, they don't have a minimum, that's a lie. So my thing is, if you start lying in this already, you're gonna be lying in a lot of
Yeah,
other
exactly.
stuff.
It's questionable
Like be
now.
straightforward,
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you're gonna win something, do it with integrity. Like say, you know what, this is what's really out there right now, and this is what I'm trying to match. But don't start saying lies, because I think that's kind of shit. That just tells me the type of people you are.
Exactly. You start losing credibility with that.
I'm just looking at the Facebook comments. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So hey, let's jump into the Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know, it's going down September 21st, I believe. Yeah, September 21st. What are your thoughts about that, man? Would you pay to watch that fight, even though it's for free on Netflix? But if it was pay-per-view, would you?
Just because both of them have the biggest names in boxing history, I would. Now, am I gonna get the best out of them? I'm not. Right? We're not gonna see the best out of them.
I think they're gonna shock us.
Again, styles, but we haven't seen Floyd active. Manny's been active, and I know he's been getting on it. So, you know, it might be a good fight just because they're both, you know, a little older already. That's the only reason. But I don't think we're going to see much speed. We're going to see a lot of flaws, and we can expect that. I think we want to see it. It's more like, let's give it the last chance. They fight, but we can expect them to be like superheroes because it ain't going to happen.
Who would you put your money on?
I would have to go with Pacquiao, not because we're working with him, but because I've seen him more active, right? I've seen him more in the gym, more dedicated. Floyd, maybe he's fooling us, but we see that he's a little bit more with his own personal issues right now. So I would have to go with Pacquiao.
He always had personal issues leading up to a fight, though.
I agree, but you know, he was for me now. Well, I have to say this. For me, recipe. Floyd Mayweather's been the best fighter I've ever seen. The best fighter. I mean, you don't have to agree, but for me, it's just he fought so many styles that wanted to beat him, and nobody really did
His
much.
defense is one of a kind, dude.
Yeah.
That defense is crazy.
But now...
we talked about it the last time, right?
Yeah.
But now we'll see, because I think Pacquiao, he's still a hard worker. I've seen him work that hard. I haven't seen Floyd, so I have to go with Pacquiao.
Now, do you think the fact that they're fighting, you know, Mayweather and Pacquiao, that's like kind of signs that boxing is dying? Or do you think it's good for boxing, or do you think it's bad for boxing?
I don't think it's dying.
It doesn't
look at Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios. You saw that stadium?
Dude,
you're
right.
It's not dying. I think we've always had. We just forgotten. We had a few fighters, not as much maybe, but we had a few fights back then that, you know, fighters fought when they were older. And there's, you know, the fights were still made. But no, I don't think boxing is dying.
Roy Jones Jr. was fighting at like, what, 45, 46?
Something.
You know, like that? So,
I mean, I, if you ask me, one of the fights that I would love to see, even at this age, is Oscar De La Hoya and Tito Trinidad.
That would
just
be
because
a badass
it never
fight.
happened. It never happened.
That would be a badass fight.
Two of the greatest fighters that I've seen.
Hey, because Trinidad still looks good.
Yeah, that's another thing I was gonna tell you. Trinidad looks good. Oscar looks good.
Yeah.
I was during that fight. I was a huge De La Hoya fan, and I was so mad when he lost that fight. I was like, I still remember where I was at watching it and everything.
Oh yeah. No, wait, with Trinidad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They should probably add it to the Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao.
They should.
Co-main event.
Co-main event. Hey, that would be badass.
That would have been a badass fight.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Hey, and then let's do a rematch of the Barrera and Eric Morales. Fuck it, let's do all the old school. You know? We'll call it the seniors, the seniors boxing event.
The seniors.
Nah. But no, that would be badass though, man. Oscar De La Hoya and Trinidad. You know, I have Fernando on that card. You know, Fernando Vargas. Oh, that's a lot you could do.
Yeah.
Nah, see now we're dreaming. Now we're dreaming. What is it that you would like to see next in boxing? Like, you know, what fight intrigues you to be like besides the Mayweather and Pacquiao?
I definitely would like to see the super welterweights. You know, like Boots with Virgil.
What's your thoughts on that, real quick? Virgil and Golden Boy with all those lawsuits, man.
I
That's
don't
crazy.
know the ends on that. I've told you how I deal with business.
Yeah. Do you think it's the dad? Or do you think
you know what? The dad's always been...
Virgil just flipped like out of nowhere. I don't know if it's him. I think the dad has a lot to do with it.
Well, the dad has also a right. You know, he's trained Virgil since he was young. I like I said, I don't know what really happened. The father's been there for Virgil since day one. But he's always been a very cool guy with me, so I really don't know. And like any business in any companies, there's some things that could happen that maybe other parties don't know, right? If things are going around. But I've always told this to anybody. There's a difference when you work with a team that's been with you since young, not all the time, but majority of the time, since when you're like the amateurs, and I'm talking full team. Let's say even you went pro, right? Manager, trainer, compared to somebody that you just get towards the end or in between. Because if we're going to keep it freaking real, it's kind of like that family member that shows up and you're 30 years old and says, hey, I'm your cousin. All right. Oh, I love you, cousin. Fuck you. You don't love me. Man.
You don't even know me, fool.
Exactly. Let's keep it real, right? So I feel, I'm just going to speak if I was put in that position. If I was put in that position as a manager, right? Or let's take Sam or Kevin.
Okay.
There's a limit where you say, okay, at the end of the day, this is Kevin Anton. This is Sam Contreras, right? The fuck is going on? We're adults. Let's sit on a table. Let's all sit in the table. Because if we're going to be transparent, I want to hear everything, right? And let's see what's going on, and let's try to fix this, right? Yeah. For example, if the contract's not working, perfect. Golden Boy, how much you want for my contract? If I can't pay it right now, I'll give you a certain amount per fight. Yeah. Right? Then Oscar's going to have to make a decision. He wants it. He loses everything. He's more expenses legally, or is able to get something. Or we work this out, right?
Yeah, we meet in the middle.
That's the way I would take things. Because when you have everybody in the table at the same time, you're going to find out things. Oh, yeah. Majority of the time, you're going to find out things that sometimes you don't know. So, like I said, I've always felt Virgil's always been a great kid. I was actually there on his pro debut. We had Cesar Diaz on that card as well. So I just feel that sometimes boxing also needs this little drama, but there's a limit where you could be like, all right, instead for it to be affecting us, let's all sit down like grown-ups. Let's get together. Let's see what it is, right? And in negotiation, not everything's going to go 100% your way. Everybody has to put a little part to it, and let's make this shit work. Right?
Yeah, I agree. It's all about being adults, just
egos. We have to put a little ego aside. Whatever happens, sometimes misunderstandings. Yeah. I mean, shit. Sometimes we get a damn text and I read it wrong, or shit happens. So exactly. A tweet, whatever it is. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's in this situation, but I think everybody who is ever in my team, and my fighters are probably hearing me. If this shit ever comes with me, I'm hoping one day they'll be like, you know what? You're Sam, you're my manager, you're my trainer. I want my promoter here. I want this guy here, and we're all going to talk. Yeah. That you're my dad. This is business. We're all going to talk. What the hell is going on?
Let's try to fix it. Yeah, exactly.
Right? What's your point of view? What's your point of view? Where did I drop the ball? Where I did? And let's go. Because here's the thing. When I spoke to Top Rank and we got together, for me, signing Sam with Top Rank was, and Kevin with Pro Box, was we are a team. Yeah. Sometimes I feel fighters start signing with promoters, and they're already like they're signing a contract, but they're already like fighting each other. Yeah. If I felt that way, I would not sign with nobody. Period. Yeah. So we're there to work together. I understand business. Top Rank needs to make money. Pro Box needs to make money. We all need to make money, and we have to be fair. So there's little things that could happen, but that's why you sit down and you talk to them as adults in that table, and then that's it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the best way to do it, because a lot of people don't understand business. I feel like a lot of, it's hard to explain that to them, and it's best to start that out like, hey, this is the way it is. We come together as, all business partners, but to try to work this out.
Yeah, of course, because sometimes it takes, look, I just had a situation in real estate last week where I had I had two options. I lose the whole deal, or I take probably like only 25% of really what belonged to me. And guess what? My thing was, I'll take the 25%. I'll keep the client happy. It is what it is. Let's move forward. Yeah. Right? Or else I lose the client. I lose that 25% that could pay something of my bills. Yeah. And then now I might have a few fucked up weeks being upset. Let's just make it work. Yeah. Right? Make it fair for everybody. Everybody be transparent. Everybody at the table. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. What do you guys think about brand risk promotions? What do you guys think about that at all? That's Aiden Ross's boxing thing. He has it on Kick.
Okay. Yeah. The what is it?
They have like basically anybody that has a brand.
Right.
Like
but there's a word for
podcast.
it. Damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? The
Influencers?
Influencers. There you
Influencers,
go.
yeah,
There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. The influencers.
So we might be fighting on there sometime.
Yeah.
The Howls Over Baaz podcast.
How's over bad? We're gonna do the tag team.
No, but Blueface fought on it.
Was it Misfits doing that? The tag team?
I don't know.
I think they
know.
did.
I know a kid and his girl that they do Misfits, and fuck, I mean, I thought they were like pros in the beginning because I don't know much about influencers,
Yeah.
but those kids they train what they're with Justin Fortune, and fuck, they train like a regular guy.
Oh,
that's,
a lot of
really?
them do.
yeah, I mean, you see the results. You know, they're winning.
Yeah,
So,
A lot of them do take it serious.
Mhm.
you know, if you don't do the shows and it's a market there, somebody
Yeah.
else is gonna do it. So you know, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for them. I think somehow we all could be a little positive, and whatever it's going on in boxing, instead of always seeing it negative, see how it could even blend in with
Or
what we
help.
have
Yeah.
and help.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
I mean, I think Jake Paul has helped. You know.
I do too.
I think he's really. I used to be able to not stand him, dude. But when you really look at the whole picture, he's helped boxing a lot. You know.
Who?
Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, tremendously.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a fan of him.
I wasn't a fan of
I
him.
Neither
criticized.
was I. I couldn't stand him at the
I
beginning, dude.
And look, we helped him with Kevin when he was beginning. But one thing that tripped me out with him was that he always had like a little jab. He worked on basics. But like with him coming into boxing, it was more like a personal because they were in a card. He was like the main event, and there was another influencer like co-main event. And then you had Jojo Diaz, which was a U.S. Olympian, and then you had him under that. And I was like, man, that's fucked up. That's kind of disrespectful. Right?
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, what are you going to do? Sit down, complain? But he's done so much. He's done so much for women, right?
Mhm.
Because I think, first of all, he's going to control women's boxing. He
Oh,
already
yeah.
is. He
Yeah.
already is. And in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Girls are happy, and that's what matters. At the end of the day,
They're getting paid more than they've ever gotten paid.
How's he doing it? I don't know, but you know, congrats to him and his team. They're doing an amazing job, and you know, I think they're gonna grow. Again, you have Jake Paul, you have
Is Amanda Serrano still with them?
yes.
With MVP? Yeah, huh? Yeah.
So you have him, you know, which he's also into the pro boxing, you know. You have Top Rank, you have Golden Boy, you have Matchroom. Just between the fighters these guys have, you can't really compare. So, I mean, the only thing is they come and try to buy everybody else, but other than that, it's hard. And Jake looks like the type that, you know, he's a tough guy. Yeah.
No, he's got my respect.
Yeah.
These last couple fights.
He's been
got-
putting a lot
yeah.
of work because
Yeah.
this influencer shit, man, that's not easy.
I mean,
Just
to say
being
I'm a
around
fan of him right
cameras.
now, nah. I'm not really a fan like
Let
that.
me tell you
Nah.
something. So when he fought Anthony Joshua, hold on, I knew, and I told my brother, I said this was gonna have a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gonna have a hard time.
Oh,
I'm talking about Anthony Joshua.
Anthony. Oh,
And he
okay.
said, nah, I said, look, man, there's a difference when, because I've seen it even on sparrings, bro. Sometimes you'll spar a guy that's not that great, but he just moves different.
Right.
That fight was not planned. Anthony Joshua had a hard time
Yeah.
because you don't fight and you don't spar guys like Jake Paul that often, right? Especially the things he was doing. He was so much on his toes for a heavyweight. Of course, he got tired, but Anthony Joshua had a hard time. It took him a while to really figure him.
Yeah, there was a few.
Because majority will get another heavyweight that will stand slow, and that's where Anthony's be able to do his job. But this guy's moving, he's jabbing, you know, he's landing a few right hands. Trust me, I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I just said, hopefully it don't mess up Anthony Joshua so much that he gets completely frustrated.
because you know what?
But
Yeah,
he was patient.
that's the one thing about AJ. He does get frustrated fast. Like he gets into his head. That's what I've seen it
It's
before.
a lot of fighters.
That's a lot of fighters. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was training and all that, and you fight someone with a weird fighting style, like it throws you off.
Yeah.
Like you're like, dang, you don't even think he doesn't even have to be that good, you know. But
No,
it just kind
of
of
course.
throws you off, and you're
Like,
like,
what the fuck? Stop moving.
yeah, like motherfucker, come here, and then you're chasing him. You're like, I don't do that. Like how he has me fighting his game now. So it happens, you know.
That's true. That's true.
So, you know, we'll see. But he's doing a great job, too. Great companies really putting on board. Hey, Pro Box, too. Pro Box is also growing big, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They're growing big. They're doing, you know, good fights. And also, Pro Box, I like their commentating, right? Their commentators are great. Again, it's not throwing, but I just feel that this whole change with this new organization coming in, or SUF in this case, it's just, if they would be a little bit more like neutral, I think they'll probably fan base would get a little bit more, but they're so biased. Like everything's like, dude, it's like, I know they're giving you extra bonuses or something, but fuck, man, can't
Like
speak
they're talking
facts.
way too good about like Max Kellerman, Andre Ward.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
dude.
like
It's kind of weird too. It's like, what's going on?
Hey, but let me say
they're
something.
talking like as if there's no other promotional companies exist.
I have to say something that bugged me, that Crawford said. I like Crawford. He's a great fighter.
Oh yeah,
He said something that he was like, because he was talking about, you know, African Americans, and he was saying, hey, you know what? It just sucks that we have to be the loud ones. It's and we always need to be talking shit in order to sell, right? And I'm like, that's why you're fucking complaining? You just fought for million. I think he made like $10, $12 million, $15 million. I'm not sure how much he made.
Close to 20.
Okay, 20 million. That's what got you talking smack? Or wait, have you thought about Mexicans?
Yeah.
Latinos? That if you don't have a Mexican style, they will not give you a chance. And Mexican style means you have to
brawl,
beat the shit out of each other. So it goes to everybody, you know? He was complaining about...
He tried to single himself out.
You know, he started complaining about like, oh, you know, if we don't talk smack, we don't sell. It is what it is. You know, sometimes like even girls, if you don't show ass, you don't sell. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Guys, you know? It is what it is. What are you going to do?
Right.
So it's but yeah, I was like, have you thought about like, especially Mexicans, Latinos, that if you see a promoter and you're a Hispanic and you start like boxing, moving around, not for the pros.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
Yeah.
You have no chance. So it's easier just to talk shit and get opportunities compared to be beating the shit out of each other everywhere in order for you to get a chance.
Yeah, but that's in all sports. Everybody like has.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird
why.
thing to say, just at all. Like,
And then he says it now that he's like technically retired. Right?
So
like, why didn't you say that?
And
before?
the reason I mentioned this is because there's I've said it before. There's a few things that fighters, you know, start saying after they retire that starts messing with the current boxers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think boxers need to educate themselves, and part of the problem is they've never had like a normal job, right? You know, also Mikey was mentioning, and he wasn't saying nothing bad, but he was just mentioning like, if you win $1 million, you don't take $1 million home, right? And a lot of fans, that just showed me how a lot of fans don't know. They're like, oh, that's messed up. How is it that they're only gonna take like $300,000, $400,000 back home? Have your job give you $1 million. You ain't taking $1 million home.
You get taxed the fuck out
How
of it.
much do you earn a week? How much do you take home? It's the same shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
everywhere, you know? So
That's true.
It
Yep.
doesn't
Tax
matter.
in your
You
ass.
just by $1 million,
You
you
win
hit
the
the
lottery.
high.
You win the lottery. You're only taking.
Thank you. So it's everywhere, and I think these fighters, and it happens with the organizations too. When they're like, okay, there's a sanctioning fee. You need to understand this business. If you're gonna get into boxing as a fighter, anything, you need to understand and educate yourself, because, dude, like even licensing, right? Real estate, you think I have to pay my license every year. I have to pay my MLS every year. I have to pay my broker every time. I can't be like, why? I already became an agent, or I already
costs
have my
money to make
broker's
money.
license. Why do I have to keep paying?
I thought I
Part
had
of
credit
business.
with you.
No, it's part of it, right?
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
keep it. I mean, you're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You pass inspection, cool. You still have to pay for the inspection,
Yeah.
right? So it's part of life.
Things you have to do to keep your business running.
Yeah. And
It's just part
cost
of
money
the
to
part of
make
life,
money.
yeah. But going back to that real quick, that promotional company that you were talking about with
Brand
the,
Risk.
Yeah. I think it's fun. You know, it's fun if they're having fighters, they're paying fighters, influencers to have fun. A lot of actual fans actually like watching that.
It's like a sparring match, really.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of looks like. You know what I mean?
And some of the fights are comedy. It's it is what it is. It's fun. If Saturday night you don't got nothing else to do, just flip that on and
Exactly.
We are no other fights there.
We did go over though, so we're gonna close out right now.
Yeah.
But so anything else you guys want to say? Any last words of anything?
I'm excited for the David Benavidez fight and Zurdo. May 2nd. I got Benavidez. Who do you got?
I have to go with Benavidez.
What do you got?
Benavidez.
Sure. No, but thank you guys for tuning in. Seriously, I really appreciate it.
We're gonna be doing these once a month, so you'll be seeing more of these. But I appreciate you guys watching. Slogan: Shed the sheep. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Shed the sheep. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
AJ Gonzalez.
Sam Contreras. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. We will be right back with another episode. Peace. We out.
You're tuned in to the hottest podcast. Howls over Baaz every week, whooping ass. H.O.B. The fight segment, home of future and current world champions. With your host Jacob Casas and your host AJ Gonzalez. And we running over sheeps cause we wolves in this beast. Let's go. And shout out to the fans showing love and all the trolls. Y'all welcome. Every week knocking out the competition with the hottest guests. If you ain't tuned in, then you missing.